Hello everybody, my name is Michael. I am known on YouTube as the Magico13. This is the very first video I am ever recording, and we are playing the Kerbal Space Program today. The Kerbal KSP, which is what it abbreviates to, is a game where you build rockets and planes and various things like that, and you try to launch Kerbals, which are these little guys, into space and to the moon or other planets. And he was just laughing at me because he realizes that this is pretty bad. Alright, well, I'm going to start up a new save here, and I'm playing with a couple mods. I have not played with any of them before except one, but I'm playing with the Kethane pack, the Kerbal attachment system, ISA MapSat, the sub-assembly loader, and the Ferram Aerospace research add-on, which adds better aerodynamics because KSP right now has very, very bad aerodynamics. In fact, nose cones are worse for your rockets. As you can see, we are running version 0.20. Version 0.21 should be coming out decently soon. Let's choose a flag. I think this is the one I usually go with, but I kind of like this one. So let's take that one and name this YouTube. There isn't a career mode yet, so we have to play sandbox, but that is alright because that is what we want. So here's our space station. No, here's our space center. The Kerbal Space Center, abbreviated as KSC. We have the spaceplane hangar, where you build planes, and the attached runway. We have the vehicle assembly building, where you build rockets and the attached launch pad. The tracking station, which we can go into really quick. This is for viewing all of your current flights. This here is Kerbin. This is the home planet. You can read that if you want. So this is the Earth analog, which you can see it kind of looks a little bit like Earth. I still kind of think this looks just like Africa, and in fact we are right here. Now, Kerbin, unlike Earth, has two moons. There is the moon, which is very, very similar to our moon, and then Minmus, which is on a decently eccentric orbit, and it is very, very tiny and very rocky, and I have never been there, and that might be something we do this season. There are several other planets. Moho, which is missing now. Moho, which is just like Mercury. Eve, which is just like Venus. Kerbin here in the third one. Duna, which is just like Mars. Dress, which is a more like a planetoid. Let's see if we can zoom in on it. I have never really seen this before, honestly. It is analogous to Ceres, I do believe, which I believe is an asteroid in the asteroid belt. And then Jewel, which is a gas giant similar to Jupiter with its many moons. And then the last one, Elu, which I believe is a lot like Pluto. Small, icy, has a really, really strange orbit, occasionally cuts in front of Jewel. So let's go back to Kerbin, actually. Let's exit this. And then there's the flagpole, obviously, so you can change your flag. Let's enter the vehicle assembly building and try to make a rocket. What I would like to do today is to build a satellite to go in a polar orbit around Kerbin and hopefully map it out, search for Kethane. I've never done this before. I don't know how to do it. I have been playing Okay, this is weird. So this is added by far. Can I? Yeah, okay. I don't want this. So I've been playing KSP for about a month. I am not that great at it, but I'm not awful either. So this is what we're going to start out with. This is a probe, and whoa, that's, I think, Kethane related things. Yes, okay. I'm going to add a small fuel tank. And you may be asking, but Mike, why would you put a fuel tank on a satellite? Well, I want to try to avoid having a lot of debris in orbit, and so I'm making it so that I can make, I just said make 1,000 times. I'm going to try to make it so I can deorbit this if I decide that I no longer wish to use it, or I design it really, really badly, which is sort of to be expected. Yeah, I would like to not leave this in space forever and have it die and just, yeah. Explosions are good. Everyone likes explosions. I believe these are from, yes, the Kerbal attachment system. And then this is Kethane, and that's Kethane. Those are batteries. We need batteries. Those are a little big. Let's go with the Z100s. And we can put 2 of them on. Yes. And now, I don't know how many solar panels you need to actually run things. I suppose we should maybe consider testing this before sending it up. And I may actually need to get rid of this, just because I don't know how big the scanners are. And if they're too big, then that's going to be annoying. So this is a Kethane detector. Okay, this is the MapSat, the GPS. I'm a little bit terrified of what that is. I think you can transform people into fuel, which scares me. That's a little creepy. So let's see. This says compact. Well, let's see just how compact that is. Let's turn off symmetry. Oh, cool. I can put this in a lot of different ways. I'm assuming the direction does matter. So now we could line this up, or let's see if I can put these both. Let's rotate this all of the wrong directions. Let's put it. No, you can't put it this way. Okay, well, this looks awful. It doesn't really say a whole lot. Honestly, I might just do this even though it looks absolutely terrifying. Not terrifying, just terrible. I can't pick this back up for some reason. Oh, that's really annoying. Oh, there we go. It is upside down. Let's turn that around. Alright. I could just do that. For some reason, that is an option. Here, let's save on space and do that. Now, we should set something up so we can transmit this data back. I know that doesn't actually do anything, but gotta have a bit of role-playing in here. Let's name this and save it really quick. Satellite, which I am, yes, I am spelling wrong. Satellite fail Mark 1. These eyes. Why am I calling it that? Because I'm sure I'm going to do something wrong and this entire thing will just be useless. So, we theoretically have what we need for those. Maybe. I honestly don't know. Surprised there's not more new things in the aerodynamic tab from the FAR add-on. Anything new in here? Nope. Okay, well, I suppose we can start building our rocket. Now this is actually going to be really annoying, because we can't put a nose cone on this. So I'm not sure how well that's going to work. Let's zoom out. I'm going to build a small rocket. And I may end up fast forwarding through parts of this. So I will probably see you in a bit. Just try this and see. Oh, you know what I should do? Yes, I'm going to be doing some asparagus staging, because it's great, even though it's really, really cheap, and I kind of feel like it's cheating, but it works really well, and so yeah, I'm gonna use it. I honestly probably don't need it, because from what I've read, it is much easier to get rockets into orbit when you are using the FAR add-on, which FAR stands for the Ferram Aerospace Research, which adds realistic drag. So we can try this. One thing I do want to do is I don't want to run out of... I probably won't run out of battery power, but I'm going to add some of these anyway. Now I definitely won't. And in fact, one thing I want to do is I want to add another probe. And you may be wondering why, and that is so I can deorbit this. And in case that doesn't really function properly because I run out of fuel, which could very well happen, I'm going to put a docking port on here so I can dock with this later, and I don't want the junior one, so I can dock with this later and hopefully take it back out of orbit. I suppose I should do symmetry just to keep this right. So let's save this. Let's redo these. Now we need to find which one of these is which. So this one and this one will go first, these ones will go second. We will disengage this and launch this engine at the same time. First we will, let's just combine these into one. So we'll launch all of these engines, disconnect from the structural support, and go. I do not have any ASAS on this, which I might want to put some on. And I have to do this slightly differently, so that's in the control. What the advanced SAS does is tries to keep your ship stable. By stable, I mean facing the direction it's facing, which generally is a good thing. So let's launch this and utterly fail, and it'll be hilarious, and we'll have to do this in a separate episode. Alright, you guys are all probably like, oh my god, why is he doing this? This is the worst rocket design I've ever seen, and you know what, you're probably right. But let's go anyway. Oh, I need some struts. Struts are a good idea. Yeah, this is not gonna probably go well. No, look at that wobble. I'm also running at 8 frames per second and going far too fast for my current altitude. First engines are down. Whoa, yeah, we are losing control very, very quickly. And I am not that great at flying, and so yeah, let's end the flight and take this back to the VAB and add some struts and close this. So struts are lightweight. Actually, I don't know if they weigh anything, but they make your ship far more stable. Let's add a couple more just to the center. And for the longest time I didn't know about struts, and it was bad. So let's just keep this with the same name, launch this again, and probably utterly fail once again. Alright, physics, come back into play please. There we go. Launch. There we go. That's a lot better. Now we are going ridiculously fast, and you do not want to be going too fast early on. Oh wow, there is so much wobble. I'm going to turn off SAS and see if I can just fly this manually, which I am not the greatest at this. Okay, so far so good. We are going rather quick. Now usually what I do is at 10,000 meters we do a gravity turn, but I've heard that those are very strange with this. With FAR, with FAR, I'll call it. I'm not sure how well I can actually. I have very little control of this. Okay, well we've started our gravity turn. That's good. Oh, stop. No. Now we are spinning. Lots of spinning. Yeah, I'm going to enable SAS, and we will try to slowly head north. And if we go into the map view, that's not very north. Oh, well, that's because we are looking at the surface. Now, if we try to go down and line up our prograde vector, which is this, with north, then we will hopefully get this thing going in a nice polar orbit. And that is the hope. Let's see if we can get that going there. How's our angle doing? What's our apoasis? Very low. We need to get that higher, but right now I just want to go north. See if I can kill some of the spin. Alright, our prograde vector is almost on the north. It's fine if it's a little bit off. In fact, it might be better. Alright, those engines are dead. Let's disconnect them. There we go. Now, our apoasis is up to 51 kilometers. We want to get this above 70. 70 is the edge of the atmosphere. Ideally, let's go for 90, maybe 75 at least. We are slowly rising. Let's kick up the throttle because why not? We are almost out of the atmosphere, so drag shouldn't be too bad. We have this entire main stage left, and then the little bit from the satellite, so if we need that we will use it. Now what you want to do is raise your apoapsis above the atmosphere. Apoapsis, sorry. So let's get this up to... we've got the fuel. Let's go up to 85. And then we will cut the engines. That's a little higher than 85. That's fine. And when we get there, let's add a maneuver. And we don't really need to do this. All we're doing is circularizing our orbit. Which, let's pull this a little closer. This will show us how much fuel we need, well, how much speed, how much velocity we need to increase in order to get here. 84 and 87, that's close. I don't want to adjust that, I just want 86 and 88, that's 91 and something else that's not 91. 85 and 90. I'm just moving this and doing a really poor job of keeping things centered. Oh, okay, apparently I'm targeting the moon. We are a minute and a half away from that. Okay, there we go. That's great. Now, what we want to do is point the ship at this blue marker. That is where we will need to be pointing when we hit the node, which is in about a minute, and we won't wait that whole time. We'll actually speed up time, but I want to get facing the right way first. And it says it'll only be about a 15-second burn, so we'll start it 7 seconds before we get to the marker. The reason you want to do that is that the maneuver nodes are based on instantaneous velocity changes, which we cannot do. That would be rather amazing and probably quite deadly. Actually, no, it would be quite deadly. There would be infinite forces, and that, yeah, your body can't handle a g-force of infinity. Let's speed up just a little bit. I wasted a lot of time. Now we're just going to burn prograde in an effort to increase our periapsis so that we will actually even be in orbit. There we go, we have a periapsis. We are good. 81, and let's remove this. 87. We could... I believe we can burn in a direction to increase that periapsis and decrease the apoapsis a bit, but I don't honestly know which direction it is. I think it's this one. Let's see, 85 and 88. That was probably not the way we wanted to burn, but I don't really care. That's close enough to a circle for me. I don't know about you. You're probably all pretty mad. And we still have a lot of fuel left. So, what we can do is, let's make sure that's down. Let's decouple. Now we are following the satellite. Let's extend these panels so that we are generating power. Now, I don't know how to use these. Activate detector. Show the map. Interesting. I believe this is us. Alright. How does that ISA work? I'm not sure. Let's open these up because they look cool. And, well, we may have not gotten the MapSat working. I'm not sure what to do for that. I probably needed something else and just don't have it. But the Kethane detector appears to be working. Now what I want to do is, before we get too far away, switch over to this, and now I want to flip it around. We still have plenty of fuel left, so let's crash it into the North Pole. Now what we're going to do is point retrograde, so away from our velocity. Wow, I cannot speak. And we're just going to burn. And what that will do is slow us down, and then we won't be in orbit anymore. So this here is the satellite, and this here is us. And let's just, you know what, this is fine. Let's start burning. And as you'll see, we are burning. Our orbit is decreasing, and let's just actually crash this into as close to the North Pole as we can. Point more retrograde. We might get decently close, but we're going to be, can't tell exactly. Good enough. And actually we're going to probably miss it anyway, because we are going to be slowed down from drag. So let's speed up until we are now back in the atmosphere, and we can do some physical time warp. What that does is the physics still computes, but we are still accelerating time. When you do normal time warping, the physics stops. Almost all of the calculations. The orbit still happens, but look at that flame. Now, one of the mods I wanted to add was deadly reentry, because KSP does not care about how fast you're going. You will, you won't burn up, ever. And so deadly reentry makes it so that this probably would already be dead, because we're coming at this surface, we're less than 5,000 meters, and we're going 400 meters per second. Slowing down pretty quickly, but we're about to have a fantastic explosion. Just kick the engines on, because why not? You know what, we could try to land this thing. It should be kind of stupid, but it's always good practice. Let's leave this on so we can do a little bit of thrust effect. No, you know what, we're probably not going to land this. No. How close are we? We are pretty close. No, we're gonna crash. No, I'm just gonna... I should just let it crash. Here, yeah. Hello, North Pole. Okay, well, yeah, I should have just let it crash, because now this is gonna be stuck here forever. And we are going to just end flight on this. It no longer exists. Let's head back to the tracking station. And you will see, here's our satellite, which actually isn't a fail. Let's go look at that now. It's only a half fail. The ISA is doing something. It's pointing. I'm not sure if there's something for that I need to do, and we are losing electric charge because we are on the nighttime side now, as you can see, and I believe we are headed, yes, we are heading south, so let's speed up time. We're missing a lot of chunks now because we're doing this, and we have run completely out of power. But we are going to get it back pretty quickly. So that is one issue that we have. Now what you'll see is, as the planet turns, we will be examining different parts, which is why we are doing a polar orbit we want to be able to see all of the planet. If we did an equatorial orbit, we would only be able to see along the equator. But a polar orbit, we see the entire planet. So there you go. There you have it. We have put a tiny little probe into orbit around Kerbin. Ooh, it actually just found a deposit over here. So that's pretty cool. This is the first deposit I've ever found. Let's rename this really quick to not a total failure Mark 1. And probe is fine. Yes, it's a probe. Could mark it as debris. Doesn't really mean anything, but it's fine. I'm not sure what this is or how to close it. I probably shouldn't have loaded it. Okay, well, thank you all for watching. I'm going to end it here. We have a fully operational, mostly operational Kethane detector in orbit around Kerbin. And maybe next time we will go visit this deposit and mine the Kethane. I'm not sure what we would do with it on Kerbin, because we have infinite fuel, but I'm also just trying to learn how all of this works. So, thank you for watching. I will see you all next time.